Welcome back. Boy, we're in for a special treat today. You're going to get to join me in conversation with a beautiful, beautiful couple. Major League Baseball great Steve Garvey and his beautiful wife, Candice. They're just launching a new book that Steve has written, My Bat Boy Days. What a book filled of wonderful, wonderful stories, compassionate stories about the baseball greats. But right now, put your hands together for Candice and Steve Garvey. Watch that step, high school.
Great to see you.
Nice to see you, too. Hey, Beauty.
Nice to see you.
Sit down.
Sure.
So how you guys doing back there holding hands and dancing?
Holding hands.
That's
but I previous to that, if you remember, a short time ago, I had probably my greatest catch in the last 25 years. Patty started to back up and started to trip, and I stuck my hand back there and caught her right away.
It was great. I loved it.
I know.
So I tried to trip again, but it didn't work.
Well,
I'll tell you.
yeah, I didn't make an error.
No, how'd you like my jacket? Is that fun?
Love the jacket.
Yeah, I just love it. I thought it was terrific and perfect. And don't worry, I'm not going to sign up to play baseball. Don't worry about that.
You decided for us.
Don't worry.
And Michael, playing that song, wonderful, 100 years old. Second most popular song, or third most popular song in America.
First
next
one's
to
Happy Birthday, right?
Happy Birthday, Star Spangled Banner, and Happy Birthday.
Very good. I didn't realize
In a
that.
poll of Americans taken early this year.
Yeah, and that's what America's all about. When
Sure.
you think about it, you think of baseball, you think of apple pie, you think of the girl back home, you think of all those good things.
Absolutely, and that's what I did with the book, and Candice and I as my co-author. I mean, this was my story as a 7-year-old growing up in Tampa, Florida, and Dad being a Greyhound bus driver and coming home one night and saying, "You want to skip school tomorrow?" and going, "Wow. That's against the Garvey family philosophy. What are we going to do?"
Right.
Well, we're going to pick up the Brooklyn Dodgers from the Tampa airport tomorrow and take them to St. Petersburg and play the Yankees. And the next day we get the bus, and I've got my little baseball cards in my pocket, and we drive onto the tarmac, and we're waiting, and the K. O'Malley one landed, the Dodger plane, and pulls up. And there were no concourses back then, so they wheel up the ramp. And the door opens, and it was as if my baseball cards came to life. Reese, Hodges, Snyder, Ferrillo, Jackie Robinson, you know, and that day was my baptism. There was no holy water that first moment, but as they came onto the bus, they patted me on the head, and I guess that was, you know, mouth wide open. So.
Unbelievable story, unbelievable moment in time, and actually, it went on for 6 years.
It did.
It wasn't just a moment in time.
No, that day lasted
training.
for 6 years, 2 or 3 times each spring. They loved my dad, big bear of a guy. And that was the transition between Brooklyn and Los Angeles. So in the beginning, it was Newcomb and Erskine and Snyder. And then later on, it was Koufax and Drysdale and Fairley and those guys. So what a time to grow up during those 7 years and to learn from these great gentlemen. Not just baseball, but about life
lessons,
about how to treat the fans, about how to play the game the right way. So, and ironically, 12 years after that first day at a Michigan State University, I get drafted by the Dodgers. Wow. And it's like a Hollywood script, because the dream comes true, but I still haven't made the majors. But within 2 years, all of a sudden, September 1st of 1969, I joined the team on a Sunday afternoon and finally make the majors.
Lived your dream. And Candice, you said that you had recently read a book, and you said, you know what? Go ahead.
Yeah, it was called Coach. Steve gave it to me probably 2 years ago. You know, in our world, everything's about sports.
Of course.
We have, you know, a lot of kids, and so he gave me, I think it was Mother's Day, a book called Coach.
Well, she gave me, I think it was, what kind of china was it from Gucci? She gave me, fine china from Gucci at Father's Day one time, which I
really wanted them, and they were on sale. And it was Father's Day.
That's what Dale does to me. He'll get me things that he wants. It's hysterical.
Sure. And now all she wants for Mother's Day is 3 days at a spa somewhere. So
yes.
So you gave her a book to go along with it, and you thought that it was very inspiring, right?
It was so inspiring. It was so good. It was, and I just felt that it was a book. It was a small book. Probably did not have more than 175 pages, and it was an easy read, but with incredible life lessons on not how to be just a good coach or a good player on a team, but for parents to learn how to further their children's career in a healthy, positive way. And it left such an impression on me that I finally said to Steve, we got to write your story. Your story is literally unbelievable if somebody wrote a script, unless it was true. And you know, I mean, what were the odds that a bus driver's son would one day get, you know, get his first throwing lesson from Gil Hodges and sign with that very team?
It's amazing. And then to be able to be at a moment in history with Jackie Robinson, when he was given an opportunity to be the first African-American baseball player, and for you to witness some of the abuse, but then also the way the guys embraced him.
Sure.
What a life lesson.
Absolutely. And that first day after playing catch with Gil Hodges and the game started, I'm sitting on the bench and Pee Wee Reese is 3 feet away from me, and all of a sudden Jackie Robinson comes and sits down. And I'm standing there like this, sitting, my gosh, it's Jackie Robinson. And this was the last year of his career. He played 10 years. He was starting to gray a little bit, but when you're in the presence of greatness, of strength and power, a man who could turn his cheek against bigotry one day and then look it in the face the next day and confront it in a humbling way, this was the man that changed baseball. And I have always thought that he and Martin Luther King were the two men that influenced race in our society over the last 60 years, and to have sat next to him and then have him pat me on the head.
That's wild. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
You also said in your book that, that we as human beings are very good at imitating other people.
Absolutely.
Could you say what that means to you?
Well, especially in sports, we look at people, we watch them, we go out and practice, and all of a sudden I was holding the bat like Mickey Mantle down here, and it was successful for me. And I was throwing a lot like Gil Hodges, not knowing I would be a first baseman one day, and I was a shortstop at that time. So we fall in love with certain people and how they do things, and then we imitate them. And if it works, and if you've got some God-given talent and some eye-hand coordination, all of a sudden you may be like them someday. And for me, it came to life.
And a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's really wonderful. And your son is a player as well.
Actually, all three of our kids that are still at home all play. Olivia, our 13-year-old, plays softball, and that is just as much fun as going to Ryan's high school games or Sean's Longhorn travel team games. Watching the girls play softball has been, it's just all of them. I mean, you know, they're dedicated, they love it, and I think we're lucky that that's a sport that they love.
Well, she may be the best hitter.
I was going to say, I bet
She's 5'6" now, and got little
my.
forearms on her. Of course, you know, we can change that. But, you know.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about that, hear more about you, hear about what else you're doing. When we come back, stay tuned. I know you will.